going in with a bunch of crazed dogs.
My camera. How about them Giants? How about them Giants? How about them Giants?
Woo! What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Giants Rush. This is the postseason version, right, of Giants Rush. Happy New Year to you folks. If I forgot to wish you a Happy New Year last week. I always want to know when the cutoff is, right? When do you stop wishing people Happy New Year? Like, when is it annoying? I'm going to say it's probably around the 10th. Right? And then you're kind of done with it. I got Christian, I got Joker here. Ryan Dunleavy, we're waiting on Ryan. So thanks for hanging out with us. I see you guys are piling in the room. What's up, people? I see Pieces in the room. Let's go. I see Daniel's here. I see Alex. What's up, folks? So let's start off big news. It's all Harbaugh, right? The Harbaughs, as you all know, Jim and John, are notoriously been either a thorn in your side or you absolutely love them, right? So there's a lot to talk about on that front. The Baltimore Ravens let John Harbaugh go after 18 years. Their loss, by the way. GM Joe needs to basically turn it on, okay, at this point in time. He needs to make sure that he does everything possible. I don't care if he flies him around in a helicopter around the city. I don't care if he's bringing him the Nobu or Carmines. I don't care what he's doing. He lights up, MetLife, with his face on the big board. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Put him on a boat around Statue of Liberty. Do whatever you got to do. But GM Joe Shane is going to have to do some yeoman's work to make sure he gets John Harbaugh to fall in love with this opportunity. Most people think that this is the type of coach that's the Giants need. Most people do think that he's going to set the franchise back right where it belongs. So let's think about that. Parcells did it. Coughlin did it. Why not John Harbaugh? Kind of a somewhat similar of an approach. I like to call it Coughlin 2.0, right? There's a lot of stability there. There's some discipline there. And we're going to talk about it in this new segment that we have called Love Hate. Normally we do studs and duds, but there's no real, game to talk about, right? We're first week into the off season. So we're going to do something called Love Hate, where I'm going to ask the guys, what do they love? What do they hate about Harbaugh? And we'll probably cover off on Stefanski. But I did want to mention this for all you people out there. Think about what 18 years is. It's a long period of time to be a coach in the NFL. This guy's gone to playoffs 12 of 18 years. He's won a Super Bowl in 2012. Listen to some of these players he's coached, okay? Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Roquan Smith, Terrell Suggs, Halati, and I'm never going to do his last name. I'm going to totally butcher that one. Eric Weddle, Tyler Lindenbaum, Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, on and on and on. This guy's had Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler. The guy definitely knows what he's doing. So let's bring in, let's bring in Sean here and see what he's up to, because I'm sure he's pretty pumped about it, because last week we were in limbo, right? What were we going to do? Stefanski, McCarthy, Hafley, right? A lot of crying coaches. The Eagles went home early. The Packers went home early. Let's bring in Sean. Where's that intro for you? Where are you, Sean?
Call me.
What's up?
What's going on?
What's going on? It's Harbaugh, and more Harbaugh.
All the last week and into this week is nothing but Harbaugh on my timeline, which is great. I love it. Like, unlike a lot of fans, I'm not stressed and I'm not freaking out about other teams. I knew LaFleur is not going to get fired. Sirianni is not going to get fired. Listen, I'm ready. It just makes the most sense. I equate it to this. I'll say this real quick, is that it's like when Andy Reid got fired from Philly and he went to Kansas City. It was just time for a change. I think that's what Harbaugh is. 18 years in one location, fresh start. He's exactly what we need. So,
well, we're going to get into that on our love-hate section, but I will, new segment. I will say this, the rumor, okay, in quotes, rumor is that two things that has been talked about over the last 2 weeks is the evolution of the offense. It's not evolving, right? It's kind of just stuck, right?
Right.
And Harbaugh is displeased with that, and he thinks that, from what I understand, is him and Lamar Jackson have been butting heads a lot, on this evolution of the offense, and it should be more dynamic, but it's not. And then there comes into play, whether this is true or not, I do not know, but it has been talked about. Two different sources that I've seen it. If I can dig them up, it was that Lamar Jackson loves video games. Nothing wrong with that, but he's playing video games to 2-3 o'clock in the morning. So the Ravens had to move their practices till later in the day to accommodate his video game addiction, which also now stresses the relationship between him and the head coach, on his dedication. I cannot tell you if that's true or not. Could be total bullcrap. But I have now heard it twice from two different people that there is a rift between the two, and they chose the quarterback over the coach, right? It's almost to the point, Sean, where everybody knew that they weren't going to get any more out of Lamar Jackson. Like, that relationship had come to that point.
Yeah, and I mean, and Monken was talking about it, which I think he's another great addition if Harbaugh's the man to bring in Monken, because what he's done over the years, I think it's just a rift between. I think Lamar and Monken didn't get along, and I think Lamar, I got a whole. That's a whole nother thing.
Save it. Let's bring in Ryan because he's got little Dunleavy 1.
Wow, look at this!
Dunleavy 2. He's got like the whole crew. So let's bring in hit the intro, Chris. Boom. There he is. Oh, look, got all the Dunleavys in the room. What's up,
Three
guys?
boys. Yeah.
Wow.
All three boys. Yeah.
What's happening, guys?
Say hi.
Hi.
Look, you can wave. I see you.
You're famous now.
You are famous now.
You're on camera.
Look, the little one's blonde. Look how blonde hair he's got.
Yeah, my wife's blonde. So
okay, here you go. Nothing wrong with not having blonde hair. Just bringing attention to dad has dark hair.
Yeah. This one looks just like me, and this one looks just like my wife.
Yeah, glasses and all.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Yeah. Go take your bath.
Oh.
Say go Giants.
Move that.
Go take your bath.
Bye, guys.
Always love to see the kids, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Are you done? Are you having more kids? Or are you done?
No, that's all. No more.
All right. Just check.
Yeah, 3 boys
Chris,
is enough.
Let's bring in Chris. Chris has been off for a couple weeks. Chris, where are you? I skipped you. Where'd he go?
He's producing.
In the back.
Yeah.
Hang on. I can do this. I can also go in here. Oh, let's see. Chris, I'm going to introduce you anyway. Where's Chris's intro? Chris's intro. Oh, here it is. Christian. Bang. There he is. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Ryan, it's nice seeing you again. How's everything going?
Good. What's up? What's up?
You know what's up. you know what's up? This is like Harbaugh mania over here. So we don't need to start off with studs and duds because
No,
we
we
don't have
don't.
any of those, right?
There's only one
mean, this-
stud and there's only one dud. And it's going to be Joe Shane either way. He's going to be the
That's
He's gonna
so
be the-
funny. That is so funny. That is so true that it's like you're either going to
Yep.
be the stud or you're going to be the dud.
He's 7-27 and in the last 2 years, and he stayed, and most fans, at least the boisterous ones, didn't want him to stay. And if he lands John Harbaugh, some of the fans, not all, but some of the fans who wanted him gone, you know, I'm talking to 3 people here, you should tell me, but some of the fans who wanted them gone will forgive him his trespasses and say, you get not a fresh start, but you got us our guy. We'll stop bringing up the Daniel Jones contract. We'll stop bringing up the letting Saquon go. Well, not a totally fresh, clean slate, but you made up for a lot of those losses by bringing in John Harbaugh. Let's see what you could do now. And if he loses John Harbaugh, even if he gets Stefanski or McCarthy, if he loses John Harbaugh, the fan base is going to treat it like he just went 3-14 again. It's basically going to feel like a 3-14 and a 4-13 season back to back in a matter of 3 weeks. They lost 27 times. That's what it's going to feel like.
I agree. I do agree with that. I don't know if I wipe the slate clean on him because we're in this position because of, his incompetence.
Not fully, but it'll almost be like where he was at this point last year. 2 crappy seasons instead of 3. It'll like wipe 1 off the board.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I can see that. You guys feel the same way? But maybe we should wait to the love-hate section. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, new segment because Studs and Duds is gone. It's going to love-hate. I got the guys. We're just going to basically do this really simple. 2 guys, Harbaugh, Stefanski, because and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, they do seem to be the 2 lead dogs, correct?
Well, McCarthy's in tonight, so they're the lead dogs because they're the only 2. I shouldn't say that. They're the lead dogs because they are experienced head coaches who have had some success, who fit a lot of the things the Giants want to do. They are the 2 lead dogs, yes. But I would not put McCarthy I would go Harbaugh, a pretty big gap to Stefanski, and then a much smaller gap to McCarthy. I don't think there's a big difference between Stefanski and McCarthy.
All right, well, let's start off with this. Christian, we're gonna start off with it's love, hate. So the hate can come in second. Normally, we do studs and duds. So the duds are normally second. So the hate is coming in second.
Sure.
Give me one thing you really love about Harbaugh.
Outside of obviously his ability to build programs and have sustained success, right? I mean, I think for me, one of the things that I really do like about Harbaugh is his adaptability, right? When they first had Greg Roman, it was a more run-focused offense. And when the league was able to catch on and adjust to Lamar Jackson, you insert offensive coordinator Todd Monken. It's a little bit more pass heavy. You see Lamar taking steps in his development as a quarterback. There's a reason why he's a 2-time MVP. So I think outside of his ability to develop franchises and, bring that leadership that the Giants have lacked since the Tom Coughlin days, if you will, I think that his adaptability as a coach, which I think is very important in the NFL, I think that doesn't really get talked about a lot when people mention John Harbaugh, who we'll talk about it at some point in the show. Not the biggest fan of, but that is one thing I will absolutely give him with no issues.
Fair enough. How about you, Sean? Give me a love for John Harbaugh.
I love that he's an organization changer. He's a culture changer. He can come in and has instant credibility to give this Giants team what they need, because there's a lot of young guys and a lot of players have been calling for a coach to come in and coach them in a certain way. And Harbaugh brings that. And again, instant program changer.
Love that. I'm kind of torn, right? Because I have one thing that's extremely tangible, because what you guys are talking about, kind of tangible, but not tangible, right? So I'm going to throw two at you here. Tangible one, he's drafted a wide receiver in the first round in 2019, 2021, and 2023. So I love the fact that he is trying to give Lamar weapons to go downfield. Okay. His first round draft pick in those 3 years were all wide receivers. So I feel good that the Giants have no wide receiving core. If Wan'Dale goes away, we're stuck with Theo and Slayton, who we all know can't catch. So for me, I like the fact that he's not afraid to roll the dice on a wide receiver in the first round. That's something tangible. The quote unquote non-tangible stuff, or something that's a little bit more big picture. I love that he's relevant every year. I mean, they're relevant every single year. He puts his team in the right place. They're always out there, contribute 12 of 18 years in the playoffs. So I think a Harbaugh coached team is a relevant team, because we know by October 31st, we're not relevant anymore. So I think one stamp, on the paper is that he's going to be relevant one way or another. He's going to find a way to get there. But Mr. Dunleavy is the one with all the insider scoop. What do you think? Give me the love, Mr. Dunleavy.
Well, my love is the brand of football they play. Like, I mean, the Ravens have always played that. Like, that goes back to Ray Lewis and Brian Billick and before Harbaugh got there. But Harbaugh's a special teams guy, so he loves smash mouth football. I love the style of football they play. I think that's old school NFC East, Giants at their best, run the trenches, like what Daboll said they were going to be, but never was, like smart, tough, basically. That's what I love. When I think of like the smartest and toughest football teams in the NFL, the Ravens, Steelers, Eagles, 49ers are right at the top of that list. So
Now Patriots.
Yeah, I like and now Patriots. I like the brand of football they're going to play. And this was, to your credit, I talked to Cooper Rush, who is their third string, started the season as their number 2 quarterback. I talked to Cooper Rush, to whoever said he wins or whatever. He said there's a level of respect immediately with those guys you've done it before for a long time. I don't want to say you listen to them more, but you want to see why they've been so successful. You really lock into that. So like that tells you right there that guys who are going to want to come here as free agents. The guys who are here are going to have, basically they're going to have a his way or the highway. You listen or you don't. And this was my favorite quote from Cooper. He said, John had a great pulse on the team, what the team needed through a winning streak and a losing streak to keep us headed north still and believing and getting us to buy in. That I thought was interesting, because I think there are coaches who can handle winning streaks and not losing streaks. And I think there are coaches who can handle losing streaks and get away from themselves in winning streaks. Sirianni, as an example, seems to get a big head when they're having a little too much success. I was curious about that, because this is a crazy stat to me. The Ravens never had a losing streak of longer than 4 games under John Harbaugh in 18 years. They never had a losing streak of longer than 4 games in 18 years. The Giants have lost 9 in a row 3 times in the last 8 seasons. So like, I was like, how's this guy even going to handle losing? And Rush said when they were 1-5, he was great. So, my job, I always look at it, guys. Nobody cares what I have to say. People care about what the people I talk to have to say. So that's what I that's what I take to it.
Love that. And by the way, Ryan, let's not forget that when they drafted Lamar Jackson, they wanted to convert him to wide receiver or a running back.
No, they didn't. Other teams did.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mean they. I meant the NFL is what I should say.
Yes, the NFL wanted him to be converted.
So we got to give him
the Ravens did not.
Yeah,
the Ravens saw I don't know if they saw a 2-time MVP, but they saw a quarterback where other teams did not.
Yep, and we got to give him a ton of credit for that development. Now, that development seemed to come to a screeching halt this season. And right before you joined, Ryan, I was talking about how a lot of rumors about him and Harbaugh butting heads and the lack of evolution of the offense because Lamar's just kind of hitting the ceiling on what they're doing, and there's just there's a little bit of a butting of the heads on not development but discipline and dedication. So it might have just been time, as Sean alluded to it earlier. Chris, what's your? Oh, go ahead.
I'm working on something this week that to that point, guys. I don't want to give too much away, but sometimes it's just time, right? If Andy Reid could part with the Eagles, if Sean Payton could part with the Saints, if maybe tomorrow Mike Tomlin could part with the Steelers, if Mike Shanahan could part with the Broncos, sometimes it's just time. That doesn't mean you're a bad coach. It doesn't mean the organization, doesn't mean something was rotten. Sometimes it's just time.
So breaking news here. I don't know how breaking news this is, but it's somewhat breaking news that Ian O'Connor just dropped a note that Chris Mara actually met with John Harbaugh at his house yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
So, this thing's real. And everybody should realize that it's real. Quote unquote informal meeting. But it's real. No doubt about it. But now, not everybody loves John Harbaugh. There are some people out there that hate his brother. They hate the Ravens. They hate, the Harbaugh clan. You know what I mean?
It's the young generation, like Christian and the other younger Giants fans that don't want Harbaugh. They want a young guy. They want somebody who's newer and blah, 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 blah.
Well, let's let the man talk. Let's let the man talk.
Yeah,
Chris,
yeah.
In our love-hate section, what do you hate? Doesn't really have to be hate. Could be strong dislike.
One thing.
One thing. What do you dislike about John Harbaugh?
So let me first say this, that I don't hate John Harbaugh. I don't even dislike John Harbaugh. The Giants hire him. I have no problems with it whatsoever. I could give you more than one thing personally that alarms me. Just one? Man, it's hard when there's a lot. I got about 9 different things here.
Well, one, you just get one.
All right, I'll give you one. For me personally, the one that sticks out the most to me is 12 touchdown or greater leads blown in the fourth quarter within the last 5 years. That leads the NFL. Considering that we just went through a season with Brian Daboll, seeing how many games we lost in the fourth quarter, week in and week out, us coming on this panel, losing our minds. How did they lose this game against the Broncos? How did they lose this game against the Detroit Lions? How did they lose this game against the Dallas Cowboys? Oh, it's Shane Bowen, which rightfully so, he deserved blame. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Don't necessarily know if I have a ton of confidence in someone that leads the NFL in the last 5 years with blown fourth quarter leads by 12 points or less. To me,
are those blown? But did they? You can blow a lead in the fourth quarter. Doesn't mean you lost the game.
Right. Those resulting losses. Those resulting losses.
He still made the playoffs.
Still making the playoffs.
Now, this is another thing. We have 4 playoff wins in 13 years. He has 3 playoff wins in the last 8 years with the transcendent quarterback in Lamar Jackson. On top of that, you're 45-61 in your career in games separated by 5 or less points. You are 0-4 in games decided by 5 or less points this season alone. So I have no issues with Harbaugh. I think he would be a phenomenal hire for the Giants. But at the same time, I think those are things worth saying to yourself, okay, that's what happened here. Because I don't think it all falls on Harbaugh. It doesn't. Because I think Lamar plays a little bit into it. I think the lack of talent at wide receiver plays into it as well. You named a bunch of guys. But to me, kind of similar to Green Bay, those are a bunch of number 2s. They don't have that prominent wide receiver one, if you will. The Giants do. So you wanted one. It kind of led to a bunch. But
that's fine. No,
I just wanted to make it clear. I have no issues with Harbaugh.
Guy hasn't been on
Sean,
for
what's
weeks
yours?
And he's taking my thunder. He's stealing my thunder.
I'm sorry. It's been a while.
Else.
All right. Well, Sean, then you only get a half one. You don't get a full one. What's your one?
Well, listen, I'm not going to say I hate it, but a concern would be the fact that, as you mentioned, with the wide receivers, only one has been good, Zay Flowers. Now, again, it's the GM making those picks. Does Harbaugh think those guys are the thing? So we don't know much of that there because Baltimore's always been very good when it comes to drafting. But that would be a concern is that, and luckily we have a wide receiver 1, so it doesn't matter like it does in Baltimore at this point. But that would be a concern that I have is that the wide receivers that they've drafted. But again, we don't know if that's Harbaugh that wanted those guys or that's the GM that says, all right, here's the receivers I'm going to get for you. It's a little different there.
Fair enough. My hate is definitely not a hate, but I had to have something. He's 62, and because you're 62 and you don't have any NFL coaches that have won a Super Bowl on 2 teams, can he be the first guy to do it? At 62, I don't know. How long does he want to be in a game? You know, he's in great shape. You know, the Hardballs are in great shape, but 62 may lead you're like, hey, maybe he wants out of here in 3 years or 4 years, and we don't get there because, you know, we're at the cusp. I don't know. That did strike me that he was 62. For some reason, I thought he was a little bit younger. Not that age matters to me, but I'm looking for something, right? I'm looking for something that says, all right, because I like pretty much everything about the way he coaches. And then I guess the outside liar too is, you know, what coaches he's going to bring with him, because we need teachers. And every year we hear someone's going to bring teachers and they don't teach anything. So, you know, those assistants are going to be important. What about you, Mr. Dunleavy? There's got to be something you don't like about Mr. Harbaugh. Really? Okay. Speechless, yeah. I see.
So, yeah. Sorry. I'm just, my phone's blowing up.
With good things? You gonna break some news here?
No, with mixed things. You guys talk. I'll come back to me.
All right. So I mean, if I had to go back, I would say, you know, hey, look, the guy, we love the fact that he won a Super Bowl, right? That experience is second to none. I know you guys just killed me on the wide receivers that he drafted, but I like the fact that they're out there looking for weapons, right? There's a little bit, Christian, on something that like maybe another quarterback makes those receivers better. We don't really know. Early on in Lamar's, career, he was run first, right? They've developed him into a 2-time MVP, right? I mean, like from a guy they wanted to, not the Ravens, the NFL wanted to convert this poor guy to a wide receiver or a running back. Now he's a 2-time MVP. There's some development there under his tutelage, and we can't ignore that. He's going to be good for Dart.
Absolutely.
All right. So
Christian, you're on mute.
I realized I had my mic muted, but yes, continue, Ryan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was only kind of half listening to what you guys said because I was getting texts, but so I know somebody said this. I'd reiterate it. It worries me that since the suit, like Mike McCarthy gets knocked for losing a lot of playoff games. I think he's 11-11 in the playoffs. Harbaugh is, I want to say 11-13, like since Super Bowl, 42, they haven't really, made a deep run. They lost the Bills the two times they played the Bills. They lost an AFC Championship game at home. Since Super Bowl 42, they haven't really been great in the
They were
game.
One catch away, Ryan, from the Super Bowl. Mark Andrews dropped the ball last year.
That was not. That was the second round.
Yeah, it was second round.
Yeah, no.
They were close.
They haven't, and that was only to tie the game, not to win the game. So they have not been great in the big game. Now, look, these are rich man's problems. My lead today in my story is like, my wallet's too small for my 50s and my diamond shoes are too tight. Like, if the Giants are if the Giants are losing big games, that means they're playing big games. So, So, yes, that he loses a lot of big games is a little bit concerning. That, like you said, there are reports. I don't know the extent of the truth that he butted heads with Lamar Jackson. Sure, I mean, you have to, who his offensive coordinator is going to be. We all saw Todd Monken say he didn't do a good job on a podcast recently. He said he didn't do a good job with Lamar. Is Todd Monken going to be Harbaugh's offensive coordinator? Is he going to just bring him? Because then is he going to do a good job with Jackson Dart? Is he going to take Greg Roman if the Chargers just fire him? I don't know that Greg Roman's offense is a great fit for Jackson Dart. So I think he has no shortage of great coaches on his tree, but I would be curious if he's just going to recycle some or if he's going to find an offensive coordinator who fits Jackson Dart, who supposedly he spent this weekend watching film of. Is it just going to be like, he's my guy, or is it going to be like, no, he's the right guy for Jackson Dart?
And that's a great segue too. So how does something like that, Ryan, get known or released? Like if John Harbaugh is, and I don't know what type of access they have to film, or I don't know if all the NFL coaches share a film library or something like, but even if he does, I don't know if he's calling the Giants and say, sending me the tape. So my question is twofold. One is, how's Harbaugh getting tape? Is he just watching like highlights on YouTube, which I doubt he's doing? Yeah.
No.
I'm being sarcastic.
The NFL has a tape system that even out of work coaches have all the passwords to and stuff. Like when coaches are out of work all the time, I've talked to tons of assistants. They just get the passwords to the NFL, all 22s from one of their buddies or whatever, and they can sign it. They don't have it. So
Harbaugh's watching film. He's in this
official films, coaches' films. Yes.
Yeah, he's in this big screening room in his house somewhere out there in Maryland, and he's watching tape of Dart. How does anybody find that out?
Oh, I mean, from a million people.
But who would he'd have to tell somebody?
Yeah, so he tells somebody, and somebody tells somebody, and somebody tells somebody else. I mean,
but is that
you don't
could have
think
been his agent?
You don't think I was the one who reported first that Shane was staying? You don't think Shane called me and told me he was staying, do you?
Well, you wouldn't tell me if he did.
I promise you he didn't. So, I would not be his first 500 phone calls. So yeah, see, he tells somebody tells somebody tells somebody. It's an old-fashioned game of telephone.
But is that though? And again, I'm not trying to be naive here, but it feels like okay, that's commonplace. But he must be doing that for a reason. Like, hey, I'm interested. I'm watching film on your quarterback.
Yeah, of course. He wants it out there that he likes Jackson Dart. Of course, yeah.
All right, Sean.
I mean, hell, Ian just told you where he got it. Ian skipped right over the per source. He told you right there. Chris Mara told The Athletic he met with John. He could have easily done Giants executive Chris Mara had lunch with John Harbaugh per source. No, Chris Mara knows where he stands with the fans. He wants it known Look, I'm doing everything I can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've told this story, Ryan, a billion times. I don't think you were on with this, but we had Leonard. I've gotten friendly with Leonard Marshall over the years, and he told me the story like when he played. Chris Mara coming up would walk the sidelines with his dad, shagging balls and getting guys water, and like all the way, growing up from a kid, he was always on the sidelines, and he learned football from Wellington, right? And he learned how to become an executive through his dad. And John was like, I'm going to college. I'm going to law school. I'm getting a PhD, whatever it was. And he went on and he wasn't around for years. And how when, Wellington passed away and then they formed this board to run the Giants, this is what Leonard had told me, that Chris always felt slighted because John would never listen to him. And after a while, because all the players liked Chris, right? Like he was a fan. The players were a fan of Chris. Because he basically had grown up on the sideline. At some point, Chris was like, you know what? Double bird, John. I'm out of here. I'm going to go spend time with my horses, in my other livelihood.
I don't think that's exactly what happened. I think what happened is John Mara was groomed to be an NFL owner and executive as the oldest son. So he was law school and business schools, and he was groomed to be the next owner of the Giants. And Chris's interest was always more in personnel, and he wanted to be the GM of the Giants. And George Young blocked it because George Young said, we can't have a number two or a head of personnel or whatever who's unfireable. So George Young blocked it. And once George Young passed away, they gave it to Ernie Accorsi, and Chris Mara had kind of reached as far as he could go in personnel. I think he had an interview with the Falcons to be their GM, which would have been weird to see Amara running another organization, but he wanted to be in personnel and John wanted to be the owner.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What do you think, Sean? You like Harbaugh watching the film ahead of time?
Oh, of course. And I think Tom Monken's a good fit. I know he kind of fell on the sword a little bit, but let's be realistic. When Tom Monken took over for Greg Roman, Lamar took off. Like Lamar was doing great things. So I think Lamar plays a role in what wasn't happening with Tom Monken. So, and Tom Monken has had success everywhere he's been. So I would take Tom Monken in a heartbeat as John Humber. And I think he's perfect because the RPOs, all of that, it's very similar to what they did with Lamar in Baltimore. So I think it's an ideal fit. So I think Harbaugh and Monken, I like the fact that Harbaugh's watching film. It tells me he's serious about it. I know he's watching film on Cam Ward as well. So it's all about the quarterback. And if you're choosing a destination based on the quarterback, Jackson Dart puts us in a really good place with a guy who wants to be a head coach here for sure. And the leadership qualities he has, like he's going to see something a little different. Like this is no slight on Lamar, no hate on Lamar. Jackson Dart's a different type of leader than Lamar is. And I think that could be appealing to John Harbaugh as well.
Segue this into Stefanski. If Harbaugh decides to go to Miami or Stefanski, or he goes to, I don't know who Atlanta as the outlier here, just so I can get this off my chest, I need to know, because I know you can't stand Stefanski, but I am going to ask you for what you like about Stefanski. I know it's going to be hard for you, but you got to give me something. It is.
I mean, he's an offensive guy. He knows how to run an offense, put together an offense. You know, he did well in when he was quarterback coach. So, I mean, he's run some good plays. He had some success early in Cleveland with his offense there. So I'm going to say I like the fact that he's an offensive guy, and that was tough for me to say.
All right, Christian Stefanski, since you've got a laundry list of why not Harbaugh, why would Stefanski? Why should we love? Give me something that you love about Stefanski.
I mean, obviously, Sean just alluded to, his offensive mind, which I think you don't win Coach of the Year twice with Baker Mayfield and Joe Flacco for no reason. I don't think that it was a fluke. For me personally, don't get me wrong. I like Stefanski as a head coach. I kind of put him neck and neck with Harbaugh. That's just me personally. But if I could give one positive to Stefanski, I do think that it is quarterback development. I think that he does run a fairly QB-friendly offense. I don't think that he's been dealt the greatest hand in terms of the quarterback room. I understand that they've had a circus this year. They've really had a circus since Baker Mayfield left the helm, right? So
you don't get no timeout.
Timeout. Two things. Did you just put Harbaugh and Stefanski in the same sentence saying they're equal? And number two,
I would
just say he hasn't had the best quarterbacks there?
I mean, outside of Baker, what quarterback are we riding home about?
Flacco, first of all,
really a 38-year-old Joe Flacco?
Absolutely. And listen,
really,
Deshaun Watson was no bum. I know he had his issue, but he wasn't bum.
He wasn't, but I can't put that on Stefanski either. I don't think anybody saw the Deshaun Watson situation coming with him not producing at the level that he produced at in Houston. There was a reason why teams were lining up to trade for Deshaun Watson. So we can sit here and say that you can blame Stefanski. Maybe,
right?
But at the same time, I mean, you're not going to put no blame on Deshaun Watson.
Well,
you're not going to put any blame on Deshaun
Watson. You're giving Stefanski the okay because he had no quarterback.
I mean, we could go through the list of quarterbacks.
Joe Flacco was good because Joe Flacco went into Indy, he went into other places and did well.
Chris, don't feel bad. Look, you know why he's mad? Chris, the only reason why Sean is mad is because they drafted his QB. They drafted Shedeur Sanders. That's why.
I mean, that was my quarterback as well. But
speaking of which, he butchered that situation this year with that quarterback room.
Okay,
absolutely.
But at the same time, we don't know how much of that is a result of Stefanski. We don't know if that was ownership.
He had the decision who to choose to start, and he chose Dylan Gabriel.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that he wanted. I don't think he wanted Gabriel. I don't think he even wanted Shedeur Sanders. I don't know who he wanted at quarterback. But at the same time, we're putting all of this blame on Stefanski.
I only wanted one.
Listen,
I only wanted one. I only wanted one. You gave me 10.
Let's ask Ryan his thoughts.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna my only love is what is very simple.
My
Is
guy.
the fact that like we know if we had to look at the top 5 worst teams in football over the last 10 years, Giants, Jets, Browns, Jags, there's a bunch of teams that we can pick out in there, of
sure.
being a bad football team. The only love I can give Stefanski is the fact that his peers voted him coach of the year 2 times. So the other coaches look at him like he's got what it takes on a crappy team. That's the only love I could give him because Dable won it too, and people went crazy like, "Oh, Dable didn't do anything." Like his peers know what it takes to coach on a bad team. So I'm going to give Stefanski that he won it not once but twice. How about you, Ryan? You got any love for Stefanski?
Yeah, I do. The first thing has to be the quarterbacks, right? He won with not very good. He won with Joe Flacco straight off the couch to steal the Justin Pugh line, and he won with Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield gets in a lot of circles. Gets compared to Jackson Dart. They get compared to each other a lot, like guys who can make stuff happen off the out of the pocket, guys who scramble more than the guys who have a total chip on their shoulder, attitude about an edge about them. They're not the politically correct robot quarterback in front of the microphones. Guys who fire up their teammates. Like there's a lot of Baker Mayfield comparisons around the NFL to Jackson Dart. So
I'm taking credit for that. It was me first, just for the record.
So he coached him. And he coached him pretty well. If you believe, I think it's awfully convenient that now it's out there that he didn't want the Deshaun Watson trade. If that's true, then that would relieve some of my concerns because that was a brutal trade, not just for the play, but for all the baggage that came with him. And then, but other than that, he gets the area. I would say that is my big positive that no one's mentioned. Like his dad was the GM of the Nets when he was in his teens and 20s. He grew up in South Jersey, Philly. The idea that every game here is the Super Bowl is not going to be strange to him. The idea that like there's so much media and you get questioned on every 4th down decision is not going to be new to him. It's not going to be a culture shock to him what football in New York is all about. That the back pages are not going to be a culture shock to him. How he handles it, I don't know. We'll find out. But it's not going. The Browns obviously mean a ton in Cleveland, and they stink. Criticism should not be something he's not used to, which is something that a lot of coaches come here and they have a hard time dealing with.
Sean, don't drag it out. Just give it to me like an arrow out of the quiver. What do you hate about Stefanski?
Well, I'm going to drag it out as much as everybody else has been dragging it out. No, I'm not going to be limited when it comes to hating Stefanski.
I'm just saying.
I'm giving you 2 things. I'm giving you 2 things about I have been all night, but this is the one where I'm not going to be. I'm giving you 2 things. I hate the fact that Kevin Stefanski is making me say I would take Mike McCarthy over Kevin Stefanski. That's number 1 that I hate. I can't say that guy. And number two, the guy just looks like mush on the sideline. I don't want a guy who's got 0 personality, 0 anything. He sit there and took it from whatever. I don't care who chose who in the draft, who wanted who. I don't care. He just butchered that whole. I can't stand his personality. He looks like wet noodle or whatever. Just that I can't stand it. I do not want that guy. You know what? The same things were said about Pat Shurmur when he came from the Browns. Oh, it's the Browns. They were bad. Oh, he's a great offensive mind. Oh, he's a quarterback guy. Yeah. How'd that work out here? No. No.
I mean, Pat Shurmur never won coach of the year.
As I say all the time. Hold on. As I say all the time, that part was true. Daniel Jones was never better than he was under Pat Shurmur. He was not a head coach, but he was a good offensive mind. Like Daniel Jones would have been much better player if Pat Shurmur stayed around to call plays for him.
Yeah. Offensive coordinator. But again, some guys are just meant to be OCs, and I think Kevin Stefanski is meant to be an OC, not a head coach.
Pat
Interesting that
Shermer
you-
never won two. Pat Shermer never won 2 NFL Coach of the Year awards, though.
Yeah, true. But Brian Daboll won one. What happened to him?
I'm not saying. Hey, look, I'm not saying it's the end all. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. I have a vote for it. I have a vote for it this year, and was very wary of voting for a first-year coach just for that exact reason. So I believe, if I'm not wrong, guys, I believe Mike Tomlin has never won the award, but like Brian Daboll has, Matt Nagy has. So I was very wary of like, oh, we're just going to give it to the first-year guy. I was very wary of that. So
Yeah, makes sense.
Gotcha.
Today, to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, Sean, Tiki Barber was cranking on McCarthy today, saying how, he had McCarthy up here. And then I don't know where I'm looking it up on my phone to try to find out where the interview was from, but they said that McCarthy, like when he was pressed on questions about Dart, that he had no good answer, that it almost sounded like he had done no preparation on Dart, that he had no background on Dart, that he sounded clueless. And that was a huge red flag for everybody in the building. Like, dude, like you're interviewing for the head coach. You should know the quarterback. So
yeah, it was on the McAfee show where it was like that, which again goes to my point. The fact that I had to say that I would take Mike McCarthy over Kevin Stefanski is why I hate Kevin Stefanski. I don't get the push. I don't get like the narrative driven that he's the next guy. Like somebody in the building loves him. I want to know who that person in the building is that loves him. I know somebody said that like it was out there. Well, he's willing to be a CEO now type thing. Well, that's great. He wasn't in Cleveland for however many years he's been there. So now because he says the buzzwords that the organizations look for, that puts him at the top of the list. I question it. And I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong and he's the guy, I'll eat crow. Absolutely. But I just don't see it with him. I didn't see it with Pat Shermer either.
Ryan, if Chris already met with John at his house for this informal meeting that Ian O'Connor is referring to, what are the next steps in line then for the Giants and Harbaugh?
Well, my colleague Paul Schwartz at the Post just reported that Shane and Harbaugh talked for 30 minutes last Thursday. So so it's not just through friends and agents and this guy's deli owner and the Shane and Harbaugh were on the phone for 30 minutes last week. So then, the next step is to get in front of him with Shane and the other, if Chris Mara was already there. So Tish, John, get in front of him. And my guess is that'll happen later this week, like Thursday or Friday. So that's the next step.
And that encompasses John coming here, I'm guessing, right?
That's a good question. I think that probably encompasses him coming here. I would think he would come here before he'd be hired. So, like, it depends how much John Harbaugh wants to drag this out. Like, if he wants to go to all 4 or 5 places that he's going to go with no matter what, and there's no, like, you don't let him out of the building, then I guess the initial in-person could be halfway or at John's house. Or, like, if he's like, guys, no matter what you do, I'm going to Atlanta and I'm going to Miami and I'm going to Tennessee, then it doesn't have to be there. But before he takes the job, I would think he'd want to see the Giants facilities and whatnot. I would think he'd want to be there. So it depends if he has to do 1 in person or 2. I think that'll kind of get played. We'll see how that plays out.
Interesting. I love it. Chris, you got any thoughts on here? You want to see this? You want to see this last another week, or you want this wrapped up by Friday?
Oh, it's gonna. I would be surprised, guys, if it didn't last through next weekend. That would be a surprise for me.
So you're thinking that. Let's see. So today's the 12th. You're thinking next Friday, the 23rd.
Next Friday, the 20th. No, I'm thinking between. I'm thinking the 19th is, I'm thinking like 19th, 20th. That would probably be the hot zone.
And I'm also thinking these guys, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, here, but like no head coach, especially with as much experience as Harbaugh has, wants to be behind the 8 ball, getting in, learning the team, getting things going for free agency and draft. Like nobody wants to be behind the 8 ball. All new coaches are already behind the 8 ball because they're learning their players, they're learning their building, they're moving their family. Like, so I'm assuming the sooner the better for any coach, no?
Yes, the sooner the better for any coach, but the coordinators can't do in-person interviews till the 19th. So if you're really interested in Lou Anarumo or Chris Shula or Jesse Minter, you can't get them in person till January 19th. So like, I mean, if you're comparing, like, it sounds to me like that through my reporting, like the Giants want John Harbaugh. They don't really care about like comparing him to Jesse Minter. But like, if you're a team that's like trying to compare Stefanski to Clint Kubiak and you want to talk about, well, you got to meet with Clint Kubiak on January 19th. So it doesn't really matter how badly Kevin Stefanski wants to get his family settled. They're going to want to meet with Clint Kubiak. You know what I mean? So.
How about OC-DC, Ryan? Like who gets – so if Harbaugh or Stefanski, like, is there anyone that like kind of just automatically shoe fits in there?
Well, you guys were asking me about what were we doing, love and hate before. One thing I love about John Harbaugh. Let me go back to this as I send this email. To figure. So yeah, one thing I would say, guys, that I like is that in the past we've seen, I'll use the Giants as an example, but by no means is this a Giants only problem. The Falcons are hoping to force Jeff Ulbrich on their next coach as defensive coordinator. So in the past, we've seen the Giants like arrange marriages between Joe Judge and Jason Garrett, and that was a disaster. And I don't know that Brian Daboll's hand-picked choice was Wink Martindale. I think that there might have been people who told him to pick Wink Martindale. And we've already seen reports from Jordan Renan that the Giants are hoping Charlie Weiss Jr. could end up on the next staff. And we've seen reports that maybe Charlie Bullen would end up on a Vance Joseph staff. And like, I don't want any of that. Like, one of the reasons I like John Harbaugh is because John Harbaugh has 20 years of connections and can say, no, you're not giving me any of your guys. If I want him, I'll keep him. But like, I have my own DBs coach. I have my own tight ends coach. I have my own offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Like, no, hey, you're not forcing anybody on me. So that's what I like. Like, sure, I'll take a meeting with Charlie Weiss, and if I like him, I'll keep him. But I'm not keeping him because you like him or because his dad was here 35 years ago. Like, no, I'll have my own staff. So who would it be? I mean, offensive-wise, obviously, it's Todd Monken and Greg Roman. Todd's a free agent because, you know, the whole Baltimore staff is, and Roman could be after that disastrous performance last night. We mentioned those two names. There's a lot of defensive coordinators from that tree, right? Like he had, holy moly, he had Wink Martindale, and then who did he have replace Wink Martindale? So Wink has
Jesse Minter.
He had Jesse Minter? No, he didn't.
They had Mike McDonald.
McDonald.
As well.
No, he was never the defensive coordinator there. Minter and McDonald were both defensive coordinators at Michigan under John Harbaugh. They were never defensive coordinators with the Ravens, but they're both from that tree. Zach Orr was from that tree. Anthony Weaver, who is from that tree, who was the Dolphins DC, he's available now because McDaniel got fired. He actually had a head coach interview somewhere, the Falcons maybe. So Anthony Weaver's available. Drew Wilkins, who was one of Wink's guys. I don't know if he'd come back because it was such a butting heads thing here. But Drew Wilkins he'll be a defensive coordinator in the NFL soon. He's a linebackers coach for the Rams now. There's a lot of guys from that tree who are defensive coordinator candidates.
I had to double check real quick. McDonald was the DC because I remember
22.
Oh, he was. You're right.
22,
You're right. My bad.
Because
Minter was the
remember,
D-backs coach with the Ravens.
Yes. But yes, I just want to throw that out there. Craig, to kind of
But
answer your question.
wasn't he at
Yeah.
Michigan? Oh, he was Harbaugh. So Minter
Yeah, Harbaugh sent John sent him to Jim.
John
He was
sent
a
him to
DB.
Jim.
Yeah. Yeah.
John sent him to Jim, and then Jim sent him back to John.
Yeah, it was
So
Minter
he was
a
there
DB
20.
No.
McDonald was
Yeah.
there 23 and 24.
McDonald was
No.
the Ravens linebackers coach, then the Michigan defensive coordinator, then the Ravens defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
so he
I'm
went.
looking at
No.
it here. Yeah, yeah.
He went
was
John
the
to
linebacker.
And
Yeah, so he was the
Minter was a
linebackers
DB's
coach.
coach, and then he went to Michigan as a defensive coordinator. So John sent Minter to Jim to be his DC.
Yeah, John to Jim, and then McDonald is John to Jim, back to John. So, and then Weaver's in there too. Weaver was just John, and then John. He had 2 jobs for John, and then Dolphins defensive coordinator.
There's a
So-
lot of guys out there that could potentially.
And then there's the guy Denard Wilson, who the Giants.
I was just going to say,
wanted.
yeah.
There's the
Yep.
guy Denard Wilson, who the Giants wanted instead of Bowen, and he picked Baltimore, right? And so now he's a free agent, so he could technically come too, I guess. So
A lot
Yeah.
of great choices.
That's
Yeah.
what I was going
he
to
will
throw
not.
out. was,
There will not be a.
Denard
There will
Wilson.
not be a shortage of defensive coordinator candidates.
Sean,
No,
what's
we
your
won't have a
thoughts on
Jason Garrett
Antonio
situation
Pierce?
here. I think he should be on the staff somewhere. Again, it's going to be if
He
it's
cannot
Harbaugh,
be the defensive coordinator. Go ahead, Sean, but he cannot be the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, no, linebackers coach is what I was
Sure.
going to say. I think he should be the linebackers coach. Now, if you don't want to keep Bolin, I'm fine with keeping Bolin as the linebackers coach, the outside linebackers coach. Bring in Pierce as the inside linebacker coach. That's 2 good linebacker coaches right there, in my opinion. So, and it's somebody can help also restore Giants pride, give Harbaugh a leg up on what it means to be a Giant, which I think will be good. But I don't want any coaches forced on John Harbaugh at all. I'm not even worried about that. I'm not stressing. Let him pick anybody he wants to pick. He's earned that right. I don't want John Mara or Joe Shane to be like, hey, you should have this. Nope, let him pick where he wants. But I would take Antonio Pierce as the inside linebackers coach.
Ryan, did you see the quote from Burns this week on Dart?
I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, Brian Burns had done an interview with Ryan Clark, and he was just talking about how dynamic he is and how he said it was kind of funny. He's like, when he showed up in camp, he's like, he was running down the sideline, and Burns tapped him on the hip. He turned right around and gave some smoke to Burns, and Burns was like, what's up with these rookies? He's like, Carter, Scadaboo, Dart. He's like, I never did anything like that. I would never give a veteran any smoke. He's like, these guys want smoke. He's like, but now that we all look at the energy he brings, he's like, the guy gets us fired up. So they ended the year. People want to know like what winning at the end of the year does. Well, there's a perfect example. Here's Brian Burns literally talking about Jackson Dart, like glowing over the kid, saying, yo, this guy gets us going. So I was impressed.
Dan Duggan at The Athletic did a good story on Brian Burns, where he did what basically was like, it's something I was thinking about doing, but the questions are just so hard to ask. So credit to Duggan and credit to Burns for being honest. If the story was basically like, what's it like to lose all the time? He's got the second worst record in NFL history for NFL or in the 21st century for any NFL player ever.
Carolina, the Giants, yeah.
Yeah. He's like 27-85 or something like that. And Burns said my point was Burns said that the difference between Carolina and here is he always felt like after Cam Newton, they were chasing a quarterback, and now he feels like they have their quarterback. And that's why he thinks this is different than, that he didn't say because of the pass rush or, the coach or the market or the GM. He said because of the quarterback, that's why he feels like he's done losing. So
yeah. He talked about Carter and Scadaboo and Dart. Said they've got a whole different type of confidence that I didn't have coming in the league. Didn't have that kind of confidence. He's like, but it gets us going. Christian, did you see Abdul Carter's comments after the game, last game of the season? Because I just caught wind of it late last week. Did you happen to see it?
Yeah, I did. I personally loved it. I think that he's really grown through this season. We've seen the highs, we've seen the lows. Lows, I guess, being in terms of you know, whatever he's doing in meetings and obviously things that have been reported. I've never really had a concern with that, but I think that he's growing as a leader. He's growing as a young man. And I'm actually very excited to see him next year. I think what he said should ring true with a lot of those guys in that locker room. You don't want to be in this position next year where, yeah, you're winning the last game of the season. It's a meaningless win, if you will, but you're 3-14, and you're picking top 5, top 3 in terms of the draft. I really like to see that these guys are trying to create a new standard for this Giants team that we have not been able to really see since the prime Eli years and the Tom Coughlin years. I liked it. I liked it. I'm very excited for him as a player, but as a young man as well going forward.
Yeah, man. Really, I really dug that too. Like I said, I think Harbaugh is going to, if Harbaugh does come, it's Coughlin 2.0, right? He brings stability. He brings discipline. We already know he can develop quarterbacks because he did it. Like, we can't say we don't know. He did it. Lamar Jackson the NFL thought he was a wide receiver, right? 2-time MVP. So everything Harbaugh brings to the table is exactly what this team needs, right?
Plus,
I mean, go ahead.
Sorry, Craig. I was like, outside of a few millennials, John Harbaugh can unite this fan base, which is huge. Like, when's the last time the Giants fan base has been united? Right? Yep. Like that can't go.
Think about all the dudes that played for him, right? Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, right? Suggs, Derrick Henry. These guys want to play for Harbaugh, and they play well and they win. So it'll be excellent. I don't know if Harbaugh doesn't come. That's going to be a humongous blow. The fan base is just going to start, blowing each other up like crazy. What do you got for me, Mr. Dunleavy, that we don't know right now that's happening? Is there anything out there that we should know that we don't know?
No, I think you guys got it all. I know everybody's attention is on Harbaugh. Anarumo's interview is tomorrow. McCarthy's interview is tomorrow. I did a big McCarthy piece today. I know everybody's attention is on Harbaugh, but you might want to get your plan C. So I talked to Chauncey Golston about Harbaugh, and I talked to Chauncey Golston about McCarthy, and Cooper Rush about McCarthy, about the idea that he's a player's coach, about the idea that he can't get over the hump, about the idea that he's a QB guru. There were some good insights there from Rush, some good stuff from Golston, family ice cream time, which I thought was interesting. That is where we're at. Kafka had an interview with the Bucs today for OC. I think I've said on this show before, I would not want to be an interim coach. The guy went from having 8 head coach interviews in 3 years, including when he was not even calling plays, till he gets an interim head coach job. And now he can't. Now the best he could do is Bucs OC. So that's I think I said Charlie Bolin could land with Vance Joseph somewhere. I think that about runs it down. I know everybody's attention is John Harbaugh, but
Baker Mayfield.
Oh, the other thing was the Falcons interview. I don't know if we touched this. The Falcons interview with Harbaugh today was a call between Matt Ryan and Harbaugh. It was not an in-person interview. It was not them getting first at bat in over the Giants. It was the same conversation he's had with everybody else, but they characterized it as an interview and other teams did not. So
Baker Mayfield is going to hate Mike Kafka.
Personality wise, yes, but see what he does. I don't know, offensively. So
yeah. All right. Well, you're off next week, right? Because we're going to the every other week schedule. So we won't see you next week. So gather a lot of intel for us. And when you're out there, as you always say, you thought of us. So if you're out there, think of us.
We don't go there at this time of year. Next time I'll be there is when they're introing a coach. So
all right. Well, that's cool. We're excited for that. We're gonna give us a shout out.
All right, guys. I'll see you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Sorry, I've been so
Thanks,
distracted.
Ryan.
My phone's my
No,
phone's
it's
just
all
going
right,
crazy.
dude. That's
No. Busy
all
time
good.
of year for you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun to watch you mid-sentence forget what you were saying because something else happened.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you.
It's all good,
Thanks.
man. Later, Ryan.
Later.
That's Mr. Dunleavy. We're gonna end the show like we always do with one last drive where we answer your questions. Hang on. So take it to my
Do the
AC.
intro.
You got it, Christian. You got a jam?
That's me.
All
yeah.
right.
That's me. But I'll play the intro, and then I'll leave you guys with that.
All right, play it up.
Okay.
Boom, one last drive where your questions are I guess our theme for this last segment. You guys are already used to this. Let's see. This is not really a question. It's kind of a question. Harbaugh, sign me up. Yes, peace, 100%.
Yes.
We're all on the Harbaugh train. It's not even a question. I would have to think 90% of the fans want Harbaugh again. A lot of reasons to like Harbaugh. There's some questions. There's going to be questions with any coach. But what the team needs is some discipline. And this guy. I mean, look, Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Derrick Henry, Marlon Humphrey. These guys are all going to the Hall of Fame. This guy's got more Pro Bowlers in 18 years than we've had in 40 years.
And he's coached Joe Flacco and Lamar.
Yeah.
So when it comes to quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Right. So
all right.
Yeah.
Let me see. So this is an odd question again from Chris Peace. Why we like him so much. Have you ever danced with the devil by the pale moonlight?
I love the Joker reference there with Jack Nicholson. I always say that to all my victims. I just like the sound of it.
Let's see if I can find a real question, but very funny. Vin says he's here with my towel, ready for the cold water from Dunleavy. He's been really good.
That was funny today. Yeah, that was funny today. Vince and Dunleavy were having a nice little back and forth because I put something out and Vin responded back about I'm just waiting for Ryan to throw cold water over it, and so Ryan threw a gift to be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be live on Rush tonight." Away from my side gig, and he put a gif of throwing cold water on somebody. So it was a nice little interaction between the two of them. It was kind of funny.
Yep. Thoughts on reports on yes, he did interview as Ryan just literally said it a couple minutes ago, Peace, that it was a Zoom with Matt Ryan because today was Matt Ryan's first day on the job as I don't know what his title is, VP of operations or something like that for the Falcons, which by the way, yeah, I love that stuff, by the way. I love the fact that John Lynch is in with the 49ers. I love that Matt Ryan is back with I just love it. I absolutely love it. It's like my favorite thing is to have guys like Ozzie Newsome running the Ravens, right? Or in the day, right? And that John Harbaugh is running the Niners. I love that stuff. I mean, I am so happy for Matt Ryan. And anybody who gets, was a player, and is back with their franchise. Let me see if I can find one. Scrolling through questions. Bully balls go off this guy. By the way, shout out to all you guys, Mark and Matt and Book and Tackles. He might be new or she might be new. Alex, and of course, Cold and Peace and Vin. I think I saw Drew in here. I think I saw K-Mac in here. Just Daniel's in here. Alex, I'm just ripping through some names. I hope I don't miss anybody. Let's see. I'm still looking. Cold says he forgot to unfollow because I hit 12,000 today. So Cold says I'm unfollowing. So you're at 11,000. That's Cold for you. Wouldn't expect
right?
Expect anything less. Wait, you're too old. We don't hold it against you. What am I too old for? Wait, what am I too old for?
Because you said Harbaugh earlier, his age was the thing that you came up with that you didn't like about him.
He's way older than me. Guy's 10 years older than me. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. How about this? K-Max says, seems Kafka getting less opportunities this cycle. Did interim stint hurt, help, or make little difference for him? I don't know. You want to take that?
I think Hard Knocks definitely hurt him and being on there. If I'm a head coach and I watch what he did and what he was saying and how he was in front of the team, I'm not talking about the swearing. I could care less about that, but he just looked like I mean, honestly, like it didn't look good. So I don't think it hurt him. I think there's other people. He showed what most of us already knew. He wasn't ready to be a head coach, but he got a lot of interviews because he was under the Andy Reid coaching tree and he coached Patrick Mahomes. So that's why he got a lot and some other reasons why he got. But yeah, it definitely he showed. And his challenges. I mean, if you're on TV and you're a GM and you're watching the challenges that he did, they were god awful. So yeah.
Well, I can't kill him on the challenges only because it comes from the booth. So I can kill him on accepting to do the challenge, but he's still the head coach can say no. But the guy in the booth is saying, "Hey, we're looking at this on film or on video. You need to challenge it." I'm late. What's up, Vin? I'm late, but Chris Merritt had lunch with Harbaugh on Sunday. So what we got from me and O'Connor is that on Sunday, yes, that Chris. Now I don't know where Harbaugh lives, if he's a Virginia guy or a Maryland. I'm assuming he's a Maryland guy. That Chris went to his house and they had lunch, which, by the way, is super cool, right? That's one step further than anybody else is. Let's see. After Dayball, oh, that's not really a question. You want Calmer on the sidelines? Like, there's
by the way, I do think it's interesting that after the O'Connor report comes out that Chris went and met with John, that Paul Schwartz all of a sudden comes out that Shane has been talking to him a lot. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Yeah. Okay. Are they really going to do Anaromo in person?
Yep, that's what Ryan just said. That's in person. Him and McCarthy are in person tomorrow.
Let's see. And by the way, it's actually kind of a good sign because if you're doing two guys in one day, it's almost formality, right? Because a guy that you want, you're spending the whole day with him, right? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's clear. I don't think they let him leave the building. I really don't. Like, they're going to do everything they can to not let him leave the building.
No,
I know it's Harbaugh's decision. I get it,
but you're spending the whole day with
their guy.
Yeah, you're getting him and his wife on a helicopter. You're flying around the city. You're showing him the facilities. You're throwing up. You're pulling out all the stops. You're bringing him to the best restaurants available. maybe Dart's in the building. Maybe Burns is in the building. I mean, look,
coaching
John
staff,
Harbaugh coached three of the best players I can imagine between Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and Terrell Suggs. It would be really cool to have Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, in the building. That would be cool.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this real quick too before you find the next question.
Yeah.
Let's think of John Mara's health right now, right? This is probably going to be his last head coach hire.
We hope
he's gonna want to hire his legacy coach. Like John Harbaugh is that hire for him. I don't see John Mara not making this happen for that reason.
Again, we all know John wants Mara wants the best for the franchise, and I'm sure he realizes this is the best for the franchise. Can he make it happen? Because the Giants want Harbaugh. Is it Harbaugh want the Giants more than anything else? Everything kind of leads to that, but we don't know for sure. I'm looking for another question for you.
I think Mara will make it happen. He'll do everything he can because he knows his other hires have not been good. This is a slam dunk hire.
I'm looking for questions. A lot of there's a Def and Tom Munkin for OC. DC, I'm not sure. Yeah, we've kind of went over a little bit of that. NYCE, that's kind of funny. It just actually says nice.
Right.
Realize that says nice.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are fans of Munkin. I know that Lamar didn't like him after a while, and I think that's part of the riff. I think Munkin fell on the sword a little bit, as Sean alluded to earlier. Again, the biggest gripe that I got was John Harbaugh got fired in his car, on the way home from a meeting, and there's a rift between Lamar and Harbaugh, and they're going with Lamar, which is fine. They're lost.
Well, Harbaugh didn't want to fire Munkin, so Harbaugh fell on the sword for Munkin, which you gotta love the loyalty there, because over a guy who's a good OC, that's the sword. That's the loyalty you want there.
Cole wants to know who's plan B if we don't get Harbaugh. I mean, there's who you want, and then there's, and then what's reality. So Stefanski is the reality. And then, listen, the thing I have to think about McCarthy is that he's interviewed for this job already 2 times and they didn't give it to him for a reason. I don't think that McCarthy is the answer. I mean, he got bailed out his entire youth career because he had Aaron Rodgers that made him look great. And I don't hate McCarthy. I do not hate him at all. I lean on, and last night does not help my case here, Cold. With the Packers losing, Hafley was my third. Like if I went Hafley versus Stefanski, I think Stefanski gets the nod, but they're really close. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's on the experience. He doesn't know how to run an NFL franchise where Hafley doesn't. And then of course Hafley came up small yesterday, so it kind of pours back to the cold water thing. It all kind of pours cold water on Hafley for me. I don't think Minter's ready. I don't think Kubiak's ready. If you look at their history, like they've barely been offensive coordinators for 2 years. Like, I mean, they're just, they're young dudes, right? I mean, so to me, Hafley or Shula were the pick. So if you're asking me what my plan B is, I want Shula to be or Hafley to be the backup plan, more Shula than Hafley after Hafley bombed last night. But I think realistically, Cold, it's Stefanski. Whether I like that or not doesn't really matter because I'm kind of indifferent on Stefanski. I don't love him, but I don't hate him. I mean, I know Sean doesn't like him, and that's cool. I get why. Like, my biggest gripe with Stefanski is that, dude, like, you're up from the Browns. Like, what do you do that's great there? I mean, I appreciate the fact that you won Coach of the Year twice because that says a lot that your peers really like what you did. It's still Cleveland.
Does it though? That award is it. I mean, I think that's award is a joke now too. I think Coach of the Year is a joke award, just like the All Pro votes are a joke now too.
By the way,
I don't take any of those awards seriously. Like, I really don't take any of those awards seriously.
We didn't get to that, and I talked.
And
about
he got it because the thing is, well, I coached the Browns and he got a winning record. Like, okay, what if you coached for another thing? Would he have gotten it then? It's because he was with the Browns. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I've watched a lot of Browns games and there's nothing I watch other NFL teams. I go, man, that's a coach I want to have here. Like, I'd like to have him. Right. When I watch those Browns games, not one time I've been like, oh man, I wish Kevin Stefanski was the Giants coach. Not once. Not once.
Yeah. Anthony says money's not an option. Harbaugh wants New York. We hope so, Anthony. We do hope so. There's no doubt about it. That he's, again, I'll say it. You heard it here. He's Coughlin 2.0. He's going to bring all that pride back to New York. He's got, because guy's 62 years old. He knows what it was like when the Giants were winning Super Bowls in 2007 and 2011. He knows what kind of franchise New York is. They're only 2 hours from us. Baltimore and well, okay, all the way to New York is 3 hours, but still, like, he gets it. He's going to put the Giant back in Giants. You know what I mean? Like, he's really going to, and I'm excited for Harbaugh and all the things he brings to the table.
I mean, if he's here this season, we win 9 games.
Yeah. All right, here's
there's talent here that he can work with, and he's got the quarterback that he wants. It's going to come down to what quarterback he wants to work with. Does he want to work with Cam Ward? Does he want to work with Jackson Dart? I think that's the sleeper team, because Atlanta's quarterback situation, it's not there. So I think it's going to come down to the Giants in Tennessee. That's my personal.
Penix is still a young dude. He's only been in the league 2 years.
Yeah, but he's injured and everything else, and he didn't ball out. He didn't play great. So I think if you're looking at Atlanta, Tennessee, and Giants. Tennessee and the Giants have the best quarterback situation over Atlanta. Yeah. So then it comes down to, do I want to work with Cam Ward or Jackson Dart and New York?
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, please.
This box here shows up at my house. Okay.
Yes.
Shows up at my house I talked to this guy, through X, and we started chatting. Really good dude. And all of a sudden this box shows up in my house from a company, and I'll try to get it close there, called
No Cap.
Right now, It's
Nice plan words.
yeah, it's called the number cap company, right? And their stickers all say no cap. I happen to see Mr. Scataboo wearing one of these hats, so it grabbed my attention right away. And I said, I'd love to talk about your company. So I started talking to the guy, really nice guy. And all of a sudden, this box shows up at my house, right? And I pull out something that's inside it, and it looks like this.
Yeah, sharp. I like that. I like that one.
Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors. So now, you guys know I'm a hat guy, right? Boom. There's my Jackson Dart hat, all white on the sides. If you look here on the side, it says no cap company on the side. It's an adjustable in the back, right? Pop that sucker on, right? Work it in. I'm going to give these away. All right, there's your Dart. And then he sent me a Neighbors. I need to get a Scataboo too, but here's my.
Yeah, I need a Scataboo.
There's my Neighbors hat, right? They got this, and they got the two-tone for Scataboo too. And it says, like I said, on the side, it says right there, you can see it says no cap company. So he sent me these two. I'm going to give these away. But what he also did, which was super cool, if you want one of these hats, I'm going to give these two away. But he also gave me, which I'm looking up right now, exactly what it was. Shout out to Mike, by the way. Mike is the owner of the company. Let's see. So he sent me. Okay.
And I checked out the website. They got a lot of awesome hats, not just Giants hats. I mean,
yeah, guys,
focus on the Giants, but they got,
yeah, you got. Oh, I see Knicks and Ranger. That's all that stuff. So the number cap company is the new way sports fans can rep their favorite athletes. These are premium 5-panel snapbacks. If you're a hat guy, and you can wear, of course, you can pick out the number of your favorite player. Okay, so here's the website. It is N and then 0 capco CAPCO.myshopify.com. I will put this on Twitter for you guys again. All right, so it's basically no, but the O is a 0, not an O. Right? Capco, not company. Capco.myshopify.com, and he also then doubled down. My new friend Mike, and gave me a 20% off the hat. Okay, so all you got to do is punch in NY Giants Rush, and you'll get 20% off your hat. Whether you're buying a Scataboo or you're buying this is a Dart, or I have the Neighbors, but there's others, as Sean just alluded to. They got other teams, right? If you're a Knicks fan, I think he might have Rangers or Devils in there.
He does. He's got Yankees, Mets. He's got other teams, not just New York teams. He's got some cool hats in there for sure.
Yeah. I'll drop a link. Let me see if I can grab that for you. And then let me see. So it's no, like I said, it's the 0, not the O. At least that's the way it looks on his DM. Capco. I'm typing this out for you guys. Capco. My Shopify.com. Okay, so there's the link for you guys. I just put it in the chat. NoCapco.myshopify.com. And then NY Giants Rush is the code, which gives you 20% off. So I hope you guys check the company out. Like I said, if you want the 20% off, use that. I'm going to give these two away next week. I wanted to debut them, right? Maybe he'll send me a Scataboo, but right now I've got Neighbors and I got Dart. And if you're on Twitter and you look up Mr. Scataboo, he's actually repping the 44 right now. So appreciate, you guys. We're here every single Monday. I'm actually taking next Monday off. So I'm going to have Sean run the show, and then Chris Nails. You guys know Chris. He's going to pop back on, and Dunleavy's off next week. We're going to do Ryan's going to be every other week. If Harbaugh gets signed anytime in between there, one of us is going to jump on, right? We'll do an impromptu show, whether I jump on, Sean jumps on, someone's going to jump on to talk with you guys if Harbaugh gets signed. We're kind of hoping he gets signed on a Monday, which would lead right into our show. That would be awesome. We're here every Monday at 7:30, 50 weeks of the year. Shout out to Ryan Dunleavy again for always hanging out with us. Yeah, Drew.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Drew's sense of humor is insane. What's next? I know. What can I do, Drew? I got Little Rush has got a lacrosse recruitment event coming up. Go look at some schools and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be at
Cole's
town.
excited. He's
Excellent.
excited.
Cold. I know. Cold's always killing me about something. Though
I'm
he was
sure he'll
all over.
complain about how I do next week with you.
Of
not
course
here. He's
he
gotta have
is.
somebody to
But-
complain about.
He was killing Christian about 30 minutes ago. He was killing Christian.
I mean, good Lord, the fact that he puts Stefanski and Harbaugh in the same bracket, I nearly lost my mind.
But you know
Holy
what?
cow.
We would expect. Listen,
He's our dude, and I love him, but good Lord.
I know.
Good Lord with that one.
I know. He don't like Harbaugh. It's all good. All right. So what do we have coming up? We've got Lori coming up. If you guys are familiar with WFAN, she does a late night shift. Lori from WFAN is going to come on in a couple weeks. I think we locking her in for.
Actually, she may be next week.
She may be the 19th or the 26th. We'll have Lori on from WFAN. Yep. I got Brian Rascona from WFAN coming in February. So we'll have them guys. I'm still working on McFadden to find out what his deal is. We swapped some pleasantries because his birthday was last week, but I have not gotten him to respond on a date to come on, hoping his foot's all healed up. Appreciate, all you guys. If I missed any of you guys, I'm in here, Al, Drew, making sure if I didn't miss any of you guys, great show, 249 people, in the room at some point. Anthony, I think I got most of you guys in the chat anyway. A lot of good activity in there. Yeah.
Drew just said McFadden is his neighbor. So if that's true and he's close by in that area, then I might have to go over to Drew. We might have to do a live show with McFadden.
True. You live in that neighborhood. Like, I know where McFadden's house is. Do you live in that neighborhood? Like those new, I guess they're like townhouses. You live there?
Or maybe close by, like bordering town or something.
Yeah.
I mean, we might have to hook that up. I might have to make the drive there because, I'm not far from either one of them.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're McFadden. He's talking about, are you talking about
Micah.
McFadden in Florida, or are you talking about McFadden here
Florida.
in New Jersey?
Florida.
How do you know? How do you know he's talking about Florida?
Because he lives in Florida. Drew lives in Florida.
Oh, got it. Let's do it. I don't like in the neighborhood, but I'm down the road. Okay. Well, from where he trains. All right. That's fine. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to be in Florida on the 27th and the 28th of February. So maybe we can figure something out. I'm going to be in where St. Leo's University is. Let me look up the town.
Not far from me.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
a
an hour,
half
45
hour from Tampa.
Yeah. So it's about 45 minutes from me. If you're me down that team, maybe you talk to Micah. Maybe we do a live show.
Dude, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know, he's been up here for the season, and I know him and Beltland are tight because they live pretty close to each other. So if he went home, we could totally do a live show. Drew, again, I'm coming in on the 26th. I'm going to be there for 2 days, and watch some Division II lacrosse.
Drew's got a place. He's got connections to an owner at a place down there, sports bar.
Oh, all right.
So
Well, look,
let's make it happen.
We may be able to pull this off. I'd come in a day early because, again, I'm going to come in on the 26th at nighttime. 27th, I'm getting a tour of St. Leo's University, and the 28th, I'm going to watch. I don't remember who they're playing. St. Louis is playing anyway. It's a D2 school. They like my son. We're going to go check it out. It's also my wife's birthday. So let's see if we can make something happen. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
You guys, as always, have been great. Appreciate you guys. Spread love. 12,000, man, means that's pretty cool. That's built from the ground up, by the way. I didn't buy anybody or anything. So you guys have always, literally ranked the best sports bar in the U.S. I'm in, Drew. If we can make it happen, we'll make it happen. So that's what we're up to. We'll keep chugging along. Fantasy football, winner, Marat, we're going to get him out his gear. Cold. You see what Cole just put up there?
No,
Look.
we put up
11,999. Son of a bitch.
nice.
All right, gentlemen. Bang. We're out. I'm sure we'll come up with some stuff. By the way, if you guys want, look, we're cool in the gang with it, man. You guys are loyal as can be. If you want something, we'll try to make it happen. It's not easy. The interviews are rough. It's not because of the players don't want to do it. It's because their agents don't let them do it. Oh, every time we get on with a player, they shoot us down. Though I'm going to try to get Isaiah Hodgins back on since we have a relationship with him from his first stint. So I need to hit him back up. Otherwise, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. Let me see if I can hit this exit and boom, we'll see you then.